Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So as you can see from the title, in today's Pick a Card reading, we are going to be discovering the message that you need to hear right now. I don't have much to explain in terms of the breakdown of this reading because we're just going to leave it completely open to whatever messages your spiritual team wants to bring you at this time. What I will say is that there are many groups today so that you can choose as many as you feel called to. If you do happen to feel drawn to more than one group today, it's likely that there are multiple messages that want to reach you. So please don't limit yourself when choosing the readings that you will listen to today. But without further ado, let's get into your options. So there are 5 groups to choose from. I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and please pick whichever one or ones you feel drawn to the most. For my group number 1s, we have this emerald heart. For my group number 2s, we have this selenite star. For my group number 3s, we have this turquoise angel. For my group number 4s, we have this fluorite octahedron, I think. And for my group number 5s, we have this opalite owl. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the emerald heart, this is going to be your reading. So as I'm starting to film your group, I've actually already edited the intro of this video, and so I know that your timestamp of when your reading starts happens to be 1:47. And this is a number that has a very specific meaning for me that I wanted to share with you. When I see this number, it lets me know that what you are currently desiring is in alignment with what will make you happiest, your highest good, and it's also in alignment with your destined path. So within this number are 2 beautiful confirmations for you. One is that what you are currently desiring or pursuing, you are exactly on the right path with that. It's going to make you really happy when you do achieve it, probably happier than you even realize right now. And also that being this happy is a part of your destined path, which I just think is so beautiful. I also wanted to say to my group number 1s that you may be seeing a number repeatedly out in the world, and these are the birthday numbers of a significant person in your life. That's so funny. I just looked up, and when I was saying that, the camera timer was at 1:24, which is my partner's birthday, January 24th. That's so funny. So maybe it's the birthday numbers of a significant other or a future significant other. But this could be someone you already know, and you're seeing their birthday numbers, and that's a confirmation that their higher self is communicating with you. Or if you're seeing a number and you don't know what it means, it could be the birthday of a person you are about to meet. So for example, if you were seeing 222 everywhere, maybe there's somebody whose birthday is February 22nd who's going to be coming into your life. So those were the initial messages that came through for you. We are going to basically have 3 parts to this reading. We have to see what the message is for you, what you need to hear right now, why this message is currently being delivered to you, and then any advice for you moving forward. That's basically it. I want to leave it really open, but we are going to start off by taking a look at these 2 oracle cards. So we have the Transcendence Map Oracle and the Light Codes Oracle. So from the Transcendence Map Oracle, we have, and this is the Infinity card, Mighty Steps, Setting. The Infinity symbol could be a significant symbol for you, or elephants could be significant. And then we also have the message, let love be your why. I love that. And we're going to read from the guidebook for this card. This is a new deck for me, and so I'm just getting familiar with it and I want to see what kind of messages it has. Okay, so the Infinity card is at the very end of the deck. It's on pages 108 and 109, in case these are significant numbers, and 333 on the camera timer as we get into this passage. This 0 card is resonant with the Fool card in the tarot, but this energy resides at the end of the deck, for the end is the beginning. Full circle transitions. There is something new being set up, a twist of fate. However, an end is imperative for this energy to open. If there is a stormy crumble, this is cracking a wall around your solar flare. There's also a page with different keywords and phrases that might spark something within you. The storm is the sun, mighty steps, warmth, lineage, protection, electrical outlets, inlay, setting, remember the cosmic atmosphere, always here to hear, leap through looped layers, the way it is. Okay, there is an ending and a beginning happening in your life, group number 1, and this feels like a new beginning that is going to allow you, I'm hearing from this day forward, so maybe this is something that's already happening right now, or this is imminent. An ending and a beginning in your life that is allowing you from this day forward to let love be your why, to move forward with love as your reason, as your motivator, to live a life that is in alignment with whom and what and where you love the most. This elephant is really beautiful because it has this feeling of groundedness, of steadfastness, of resilience, strength, persistence. And when you are moving forward with love, that gives you what you need to be strong, to have resolve, to have commitment, to not give up. There's something about love strengthening you, which is so beautiful because the infinity symbol is a symbol on the strength card. Yeah, love is strengthening you because love is your why. And that's also so beautiful that you were drawn to the heart. Emerald is the birthstone for the month of May. So the month of May could be significant, something happening in the month of May or someone born in May. So, okay, I'm going to leave these here like this, and then we'll put the tarot in the middle. So there's 2 tarot decks that I want to use today. The first one is the Tarot of Luck and Happiness. What is the message for my group number 1s today? What do my group number 1s need to hear right now? We have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the King of Cups. Oh, that's beautiful. And then we have the 2 of Swords. Okay, this is a pretty clear message. You are, it's funny, I want to say you are the main character in this message. So this is not something that is happening to you. This is something that you are doing. You are choosing. This let love be your why makes a whole lot of sense now that I see these cards. The 5 of Pentacles talks about material loss or material lack, whereas the King of Cups is a very healed and emotionally fulfilled person. His heart is full. His heart is full. His cup is full. So there is a situation where you are choosing to forego some kind of money or some kind of material gain, and you are choosing your heart's desires over that. One example that just came to my mind very strongly is somebody getting a job offer, but they would have to move away from their family or their loved ones to take it. And even though that job would pay really well, they're like, I just can't do it. I can't be away from my family, or maybe the job offer is longer hours and they're like, no, I want to spend more time with my children, so I'm not gonna take this. Even though I might get more money, I feel like the quality time that I would spend with my family is so much more valuable than that. It's like you're prioritizing matters of the heart, or you could be prioritizing your inner peace, or prioritizing your loved ones. And it's not, I don't even like wording it this way, that it's like a material loss that you're making, because I genuinely don't even think you're seeing it as a loss. I think this is a decision that you're making confidently, or spirit wants you to know that you can make this decision confidently. And you don't have to feel like you are missing out on something. In your heart, you truly know what is valuable. You truly know what is most important. I'm also thinking of, and maybe this is an example that comes to mind quickly as a content creator, but it would be like if you were approached by a brand and they were like, can you endorse our product or service? But deep down, it's something that doesn't really align with your values, or it's something that you don't really love. And so you are choosing to forego that business deal to stay true to your heart. And that is true richness I'm hearing. That is the true wealth that you have. It's a wealth of the heart. And honestly, this is just temporary. You know, and I think one of the reasons you're also able to turn this down or reject this or walk away from this is because you know this is not the only way for you to create material abundance. You don't necessarily need this. You don't have to compromise what you love or compromise your values. Like, I'm hearing like money is fickle, or material things are fickle. They will come and go, but your loved ones are forever. Your emotions are forever. Your self-love and your inner peace is way more important. And I feel like the Two of Swords is really confirming that this is a decision that you make, because that's what the Two of Swords so often talks about. Like, there's a choice we have to make literally between two paths. Some of you might be feeling indecisive about it, but I think that it more so comes from a place of fear. Like, it could be a fear of lack, a fear of missing out, a fear of a lost opportunity. It doesn't actually feel like, oh, I really want to do both of these things, but I can only choose one. It feels actually more like, I don't want to do this, but I'm afraid if I say no, I'm missing out on an opportunity. So, you know, back to that job example, I don't really want to take this job far away, but I'm afraid of saying no to the salary and then like losing out on something that I could have. So it's like choosing this path, I think, is more, the reasons you would choose it is more based in fear. And it's not because you really want to do it. But that fear of lack can be very strong. I just think that in the end, your heart is going to prevail, or this is spirit saying they want you to give yourself permission to let your heart make the decision. That is so King of Cups. King and Queen of Cups, making the decision from your heart, from your intuition, because you're wise and you know that that's what really matters and that's what will really last. And so that's just such a beautiful confirmation. And also that message we got at the very beginning with your 147, that what you want to do deep down, that is what will make you happiest. That is in alignment with your destiny. And you know, the elephant too, it's like staying firm. You're staying firm in your resolve. You're staying committed to your heart. So this is a confirmation for my group number ones that you're doing the right thing, or you're already on the right track to making the right decision. This could also be, this is another interpretation of this. You getting the opportunity to have a beautiful experience with loved ones but it would cost money. I'm thinking of things like going on vacation with your loved ones, going to an event with your best friend where you would make some beautiful memories, and being like, oh my gosh, I really want to go. I really want to do that with my loved one, with my friend, with my family, with my partner, whatever it might be. But it's going to cost this much money. And, you know, trying to weigh it based on like the monetary or the material value of it, but then realizing that the emotional and spiritual value that you're going to get from this experience is so much more important. Of course, and I hope that this disclaimer is obvious, I don't want to encourage anyone to like go into debt or recklessly spend money, but I think for those of you this message is for, like deep down, you know you're going to be fine even if you made this expense, and it's just a fear of losing it or a fear of lack that is actually keeping you from a beautiful experience to travel or to go somewhere with loved ones. Like that's another way of interpreting this. Or even to invest in a passion of yours, in a project or a hobby that you're really passionate about. And it's like the hours and hours of fun that you're gonna have and the beautiful things you're gonna create, and like that whole process of self-expression and self-discovery and the healing that's gonna come from doing your passion. You cannot put a monetary price on that. And it's like you're debating of, is it really worth it? And Spirit's like, oh my God, yes it is. Like, what do you mean? Just whatever the case is for you, please choose what you love. Choose what your heart wants to do. As I'm giving this message, I feel a lot of heat inside my ears. So there's some attention being brought to your ears. Elephants have big ears as well. Maybe this group is my clairaudience, or the clairaudient people, or the thing that you love to do has to do with sound or speech or using your ears in some way. Okay, so we're going to use the Thoth tarot now and see, why is this message coming to you right now? Why do you need to hear this right now? We have the Sun. Oh, the Knight of Cups. And the Ace of Discs, which is the Ace of Pentacles. This is also very straightforward, group number one. I don't know if your spiritual team, like, you must have a strong connection with your spiritual team, or they communicate to you very clearly. And you probably already know all of this, and this is just a confirmation for you. But this is so sweet. The reason you need to hear this message right now is because your spiritual team wants you to be happy. They want you to have fun. They want you to be carefree. They want you to enjoy your life. And they wouldn't be telling you to do this if they didn't know that it was safe for you to do so. You know, sometimes as much as we want to prioritize fun and leisure and play, sometimes we just can't. Sometimes it's not safe or it's not practical for us to do that. And your spiritual team is saying, the reason we are giving you this message right now is because we need you to know it is safe for you to prioritize these things. This also makes me think of an inner child. So maybe your spiritual team is wanting you to connect to your inner child right now. Inner child or inner teen, or just a younger self version of you. This message maybe is even... Why did I hear it like that? I was going to say this message is brought to you by your inner child. It sounds so like formal. It sounds like a TV commercial or something, or what do you call it? You know, when they're like, this was brought to you by so-and-so and this sponsor and viewers like you. Yeah, what was I saying? Anyway, they wouldn't be telling you this if it wasn't safe for you to do this. So that's a really beautiful message. I also really love this Knight of Cups because the King of Cups is the final form. The final form of someone who is in touch with their emotions, who lets their emotions guide them, and because of that makes very wise and compassionate decisions for themselves and for others. And so the Knight of Cups, this is the movement towards the King. This is you already in the process of growing into this King. So your spiritual team is coming with this message right now because they see you. Yeah, they see right now with your current train of thought that you are on the right path to making this choice, but you might still kind of be on the fence because we have the Two of Swords, which is like indecision, and we have a 5, which is kind of a volatile, I don't know if that's the right word, but its energy can kind of go either way because it's in the middle. So they see that you're onto something, you're onto the right path, and I think they just want to give you that extra push of confirmation to stay on the right path with this decision. And then we have the Ace of Discs, or the Ace of Pentacles, which now your spiritual team is hinting that there is some material gain coming in for you that you don't even realize yet. And if anything could confirm that it's safe for you to make this choice, it would be this. So I am seeing this example where let's go, because I've given a few scenarios. Let's go with the person who is thinking if they should go on a trip with their bestie and make beautiful memories. Imagine that person decides not to go, and then like a week later they get a promotion, or they get a raise, or they get a bonus. And I have some friends who've experienced this as well, where we would go through an expense, a loss of funds, so to speak, and then shortly after, somehow the universe manages to bring that exact amount back. So you're covered. You're covered for this. That's pretty much it. The other example would be that person who says, no, I'm not going to take that job far away, or I'm not going to take that job with longer hours because I want to prioritize time with my family. And then shortly after, they get a different job offer where they don't have to compromise time with their family and the pay is better. So it's like it actually doesn't have to be either or. But if you made the choice that neglects your heart, you would be choosing one over the other. If you choose your heart now, you can have both. Like, you can have your material and your emotional needs met. So that's why they're bringing you this message, because they know you're already going to choose your heart. Like, we know this. You're on the right path to doing that. I think they just wanted to make sure that you really know this is the right thing, and to not, I'm hearing don't chicken out. Don't chicken out, stay firm in your conviction. Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna do in this reading is, I don't even have the Moonology deck. It's in Canada. I also don't know why the cover is gone. But I wanted to read a passage from the Moonology Guidebook. Shout out, it's one of my favorite decks. What message do we have for my group number ones? Ooh! The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. And we have the numbers 98 and 99, which could be significant. I'm immediately thinking of years, like 1998, 1999. Okay. During the waxing moon cycle, hope springs eternal. This card is a very positive omen, indicating that you will create the reality you're dreaming of, though it will take some work and you're not quite there yet. This is a time of energies rising up. Emotions are building too. Where do you want to go? And do you believe you can get there? Either you can just keep meditating and focusing on your desired outcome, or you can make the courageous commitment to take more practical steps towards your goals. Whichever you decide, you are most certainly on the right track. Attuned to the moon. I know I'm headed in the right direction. This is, judging from this whole reading, this is a very important affirmation for my group number ones. I know I'm headed in the right direction. Additional meanings for this card. The situation is full of potential. Your dream can come true. More effort is yet required. Are you willing to give it? Review your goals and ensure you're still committed. And keep moving forwards. And then I think this is just explaining the moon phase. The waxing cycle is the period of the lunar cycle from the new moon to the full moon. And during this time, the moon appears to be slightly bigger and rounder every night. This is a very empowered and empowering time, and this is a very promising card. It suggests now is the time to make plans and to act on them, no matter when you actually pull the card. I will say though, for those of you who are consciously manifesting, the waxing moon could be a very beneficial time for you to manifest, like where the effects will be amplified. And I'm just thinking, because at the time that this video goes up, it's going to be, oh my God, what month is it? July? Are we in July right now? Yes. And I was just thinking like, maybe these are dates like September 8th and September 9th. And I am fairly certain that the moon is going to be waxing on those dates. Do I have the moon app on this phone? I don't know, but I don't think I do. But I'm like fairly certain that phase is waxing moon. So around early September, something could be happening for you guys. We also have the sun is Leo energy, and so is the strength card, which I did mention before. So Leo season, which we are just about to enter at the time this video goes up. Leo season could also be important, late July to late August. Oh, that actually kind of makes sense. Late July to late August and also early September vibes. Yeah. So group number ones. These are all of the messages that I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless exclusive pick a card readings just like this one, and you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below, and finally my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the Selenite star, this is going to be your reading. So like I mentioned in the intro, we are going to keep the format of this reading pretty open, but what we are going to be finding out for sure is the message that you need to hear right now and why your spiritual team is bringing you this message right now. So we are going to start off with these two oracle cards. We have the Transcendence Map Oracle and the Light Codes Oracle. From the Transcendence Map Oracle, we have, this is card number 10, and it says, a true grid unveils authentic intent. Then from the Light Codes Oracle, we have, the heart speaks of excitement, the mind speaks of danger. Right away, it feels like your soul is calling you to do something that makes you simultaneously excited and afraid. 111 as I'm saying this. And that's such a significant angel number for you. Like, it's not just any angel number, it's 111, which talks about a green light from the universe, an encouragement to go for it, to try something new, to put yourself out there, to take action, to take initiative. So I do feel like this is going to be a message of your higher self nudging you to do something, your higher self giving you the green light to move forward, even though you might be scared, because beneath that fear and anxiety is actually like pure excitement. And I'm hearing feeling alive, like doing something that's going to make you feel alive. We're going to read this one from the Guidebook because this is a new deck for me and I'm still getting acquainted to it, so I want to just read the message with you. This is on page 36 and 37. which could be significant numbers for you. If you pull this card, your soul's blueprint is going through a major opening and integration in the body. A sharpening of your perception in which energies are authentic and which are not. Oh, in which energies are authentic and which are not. Your nervous system could be experiencing an activation, flooding the patterns to relink in their true expression and function of ease. Rest. That is so cool. Your soul's blueprint integrating in your body. And that makes so much sense why you would be feeling called to redirect or to try new things. Being able to feel which energies are authentic and which are not. I definitely think this is something that you're going to be feeling in your life. When I show up to this commitment in my life, when I show up to do this activity, to perform this thing in my life, is this really an authentic version of me or not? And of course, picking up on this energy in the people around you. Is this person being authentic with me? Is this person really showing their true soul expression? Or are they living inauthentically? I just heard allergic to inauthenticity, so that might be something that is happening for you. And this is card number 10. So I am thinking of I just saw 333 as well. I am thinking of the equivalency with the Wheel of Fortune in tarot, which does talk about a turn of events, divine orchestration, divine intervention. I was gonna say this feels like a turning point in your life, but then I felt called to correct that and say it's the opportunity for a turning point in your life. It doesn't have to be. If you don't take heed of the signs, if you don't take action, this doesn't have to be a turning point in your life, but there is an opportunity for a very exciting one. I also feel like this rainbow is a sign of authenticity because it makes me think of showing all of your true colors and showing all of your facets. It also makes me think of the pride rainbow, of just like being proud of who you are. So we are going to get into the tarot now. There's 2 different tarot decks that I want to use, starting with the Tarot of Luck and Happiness. What is the message for my group number 2s today? Okay, I'm going to take these together. We have the 7 of Wands and the Devil. Okay, this is a very clear message that a lot of my group number 2s, you are hearing the call of the new journey, but you are in resistance to it. As soon as I saw the 7 of Wands, I thought of resistance. And it's going to get harder and harder to do this, by the way. So you can ignore the calls of your soul for now, but they are only going to get louder and louder until you listen to them. And then the Devil, I think, provides context to this, where we are resisting because of fear. We are resisting because of insecurities, perhaps. And this is keeping us stuck because the Devil is about restrictions. We'll often see people who are chained up, who are trapped in the Devil card. So there is a feeling of your mind keeping you trapped. I'm kind of seeing you in a room and your soul is saying like, psst. Your soul is saying, psst, apparently. There's this great 555. That's the third I've seen, 111, 333, and 555. Which all of those are odd numbers. So this could also be like an awakening of your divine masculine energy, or an awakening that your divine masculine counterpart is going through as well. I'm seeing you in this room and your soul is saying, hey, like there's this big wide world out there that is calling to you. Let's go explore it. And your heart is really excited about that. Your heart wants to go out and explore and be free. But your mind says, no, it's not safe out there. And tries to keep you stuck in this little room. So the message for you is that there's a much bigger world for you out there. I'm also thinking of a fish escaping from their fishbowl and getting to explore the great big sea. Is it dangerous? Maybe, but it's also vast and thrilling and beautiful and diverse. I don't want to stay in this tiny little fishbowl just because it's safe. What's the point? Your soul says. Your soul wants adventure. Your soul wants something new. Your soul is calling you to something, but you are in resistance. I think your spiritual team might be bringing you this message because, you know, one thing about the devil, the type of limiting beliefs that we're dealing with when it comes to the devil, they are very sneaky. They are sneaky because they convince you that they have your best interests at heart. No, stay in this room. I'm just protecting you. It's dangerous out there. Don't you want to stay in here with me? I'll keep you safe. But really, they're just trying to hold you back. It's that kind of limiting belief. And you think, oh, thanks, limiting belief. You're keeping me safe. It's sneaky that way. It really does not have your best interests at heart. This could also be someone in your life who wants to keep you trapped or who wants to keep you small. But the way it comes across when they tell you is like, oh, I'm just looking out for you. I just want you to be safe. I just want you to be happy. That's not, I mean, that might really be their intention, but taking their advice will not make you happy. You were not meant to stay in this tiny room. You were meant to go out into the great big world. You were meant to spread your wings. You were meant to become bigger. And I think you know this because when you think about this path, it makes your heart excited. It's like this excitement mixed with fear, and it's actually quite beautiful. Like that fear means you're about to do something really important and really amazing. Okay, we have two coming out at the same time again. This is just making me think that you have a counterpart, because I feel like I've mentioned that before, like a counterpart is going through an awakening, and then we have two pairs coming out together. We have the Sun and the Four of Cups. Yeah, there's happiness out there for you that you don't even realize yet. Yep. You don't realize it because you can't even perceive of it yet from the little room that you are in. I'm also thinking of someone who, you know, just an example, someone who has never left their hometown, let's say. They cannot even fathom the rich and diverse experiences and the things that they would see, the different landscapes, the different climates, the different languages, the different cuisines, the different architecture. If they've never seen anything outside of their hometown, how could they even fathom what is out there? And then imagine this person has parents who are like, you can't leave. It's dangerous out there. Something is keeping them stuck in their hometown. And then when they finally get out of there, ooh, I'm getting emotional. When they finally get out of there and they see all of the beauty that was in the world, it's like, why was I so afraid of this? I can't believe I almost believed my parents and stayed in my little hometown. And I'm sure their hometown is beautiful too, but it's just a tiny fraction of the joy and the enrichment and the inspiration and the passion that they can experience out in the world. This message is so clear that it's time for you to expand your horizons. It's time for you to step outside of the place you're usually in, of the things you usually do, to step into a new world. I just had the sensation of, it's gonna sound weird if I say this feels good, but you know when you're like a kid and you jump into a pool, like you cannonball into a pool and maybe you get a bit of water in your nose, but like it feels good because you feel alive? I don't know, maybe it's like some discomfort and a plunge that makes you feel alive. But, and I don't know, like in this situation, like that example I just gave, who the parents are, maybe it's an aspect of yourself that is holding you back, an aspect of yourself that is trying to control you and keep you in a box. Maybe it is a person or a group of people who fill your head with these stories of like, you can't leave, you can't go out there, you can't expand your world because this and that bad thing is gonna happen. But there's, I don't know if anger is the right word, but there's a feeling of you stepping out into this bigger world and realizing how beautiful it is. And while you are so grateful and in awe of it, there also is a bit of like, I can't believe you tried to keep me from this kind of energy. You could also be reclaiming something that you lost. I can't believe this something or this person or this aspect of me convinced me to give this up. Yeah, I think there is a bit of anger in there. And then we have, wow, and then we have the Ten of Swords, which is like an ending. We're done. We're cutting something off. So once you, for those of you who are resonating with this being an aspect of yourself that you're overcoming, an aspect of yourself that has kept you trapped, the Ten of Swords feels like you are cutting that off once and for all. So that insecurity, that fear, that limiting belief, it will not come around to bother you again. It's funny, in recent readings I've done with the Ten of Swords, there's been this message of someone leaving you alone. And I feel that a lot in this reading. So that inner voice, that devil in your head is leaving you alone. And never again will it be able to hold you back from an exciting opportunity or a new journey. Or if this was a person who got in your head, they're never going to be able to get in your head like that again. They're never going to be able to trick you, I'm hearing, or they're never going to be able to have that power over you to keep you small ever again. Or it could even just be a narrative that is out there in the world that has no control over you anymore. You're really like radically breaking free from something and making your world much bigger and much more beautiful, but it takes a leap of faith from you. It takes listening to the excitement of your heart, even when your mind might be saying like, no, this is scary. Yeah. So why is your spiritual team bringing you this message right now? Why do you need to hear this right now? Why does group number 2, oh my God, 2 cards at the same time? Like, okay, bro, I'm sorry. Look at this. 2 cards coming out at the same time again. And one of them is the Lovers. And one of them is the Queen of Cups. My friend, you have some divine counterpart whom you are closely entwined with. It doesn't have to be romantic if you're not feeling that. But, I mean, look at this, 2, 2, 2. You're like 2 peas in a pod, you and this counterpart. And perhaps your journeys mirror each other. So you're kind of going through the same thing at the same time, where you both have to break through fears to choose your most authentic self and to really take up all of the space in the world that you were meant to take up, because you were meant to take up space in the world. You both could be going through this at the same time, and you both could even play integral roles in helping each other free yourselves, because, ooh, I'm getting emotional again, because you activate within each other this remembrance of your greatness and of the beauty of the world. And like, you're meant to be out there doing the things. You're not meant to be hidden away. You're not meant to be stuck in your little house or stuck in your little hometown. This is so beautiful, this imagery of like children growing into adults. This could be someone you've known for a long time, or someone who reminds you of your childhood or helps you to heal your inner child. And then we have the Queen of Cups, a soul connection, a psychic connection, a connection that has really gotten you back in touch with your intuition, with your heart, with your inner voice, with this excitement. This is a counterpart who gets you back into your heart, who got you reconnected with your excitement. An excitement that maybe you hid away, 1717, an excitement that you hid away because you felt like it was weird, or you felt like it was too much, or you felt like it was not acceptable to be excited about certain things or to be passionate about certain things. And now I'm going back to that message of reclaiming. This could be something that gives you the courage to step out into the big wide world, is a reclaiming of an excitement or a passion of yours that maybe you disowned for a while because you didn't want to be perceived as weird. And then that anger is like, I can't believe whatever it is, my parents, my ex, society in general, convinced me to deny my passion. I'm so angry that that happened. Not like you're angry at yourself, but just angry at honestly at the boundary that was crossed, or at the deception that throwing away this passion and excitement was the right thing to do somehow. And this counterpart ignites or reignites that excitement that's in the depths of your heart, that zest for life, and makes you feel that it's not even making you feel you're not weird. It's, yeah, you're weird and that's okay. And that's beautiful. Like, same, I'm weird too. We can be weird together. We can match each other's freak like that. Okay, so maybe it's this counterpart who's bringing you this message, or your higher selves together, you know, like it's a collab post. Your higher self and their higher self. Why are you getting this message right now? The Hermit. Okay, your counterpart's higher self is bringing you this message because for some of you, it's because you've been feeling unsupported and they want you to know that you're not alone. That, I feel like this is you maybe coming out of a hermit mode though. Like, it's time for you to come out of this hermit mode. And we also have lots of major arcana going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana. Yeah. This is high level stuff. I feel like this is a very significant time in your life. They're bringing you this message because they want you to know that you're not alone, and they want to empower you. I think they understand, first of all, the Hermit does not give a shit what anyone thinks, because they are so in touch with their inner guidance system and they trust it so much, and they know that it's exactly who they have to be and what they have to do, and nobody can convince them otherwise. The world needs your uniqueness. The world needs your eccentricity. And so I feel like for a lot of you, this danger that the mind speaks of could actually be that, oh, people are going to reject you. People are going to criticize you. People are going to say this or that about you. Because I feel like our primitive brain does perceive that as danger. You know, if it's like, you're not part of the tribe, you're not part of the group, you're going to be left out alone. That's not good for your survival. So your animal brain might actually feel that like judgment equals danger. And I feel that this message is here to tell you that no. When you start to shine your authentic light, what you are actually going to attract is the support of so many like-minded people. And you're going to provide inspiration to those like-minded people who may also be struggling to be authentic. When they see you do it, it becomes less scary. And in fact, you might have people that you can look up to now who are doing it, who are shining their authentic and weird light, who are matching your freak. I keep wanting to say that. Matching your freak, matching your weirdness, and who can make it less scary for you. You are not alone. And maybe this is even an encouragement to actively seek out those people who are bravely living the life that you want to live. They can give you courage. There's sources for you to gain inspiration and courage everywhere if you only look for them. I keep hearing over and over, you are not alone. You are not alone. You have people to look up to. You have people who can inspire you. And you will inspire others who come after you. You are not alone. I'm hearing that's what they want you to think. Because when you think you're alone, you're not even going to bother trying. It's like a lighthouse. Why bother shining my light out if nobody's going to see it and nobody's going to care? That's what they want you to think. And then it convinces you to just not bother shining your light at all. When you do shine your light, to your surprise, because this is something that you're not seeing, when you do shine your light, you will be surprised at how many responses you receive. At how, when you call out, how many people call back to you. Yes, the like-minded souls are there. So yeah, this is like a counterpart, a soulmate, romantic or platonic, it doesn't matter, but they're coming through to let you know this. The world needs your eccentricity, or the world needs your message. The world needs your empowerment. We've got this, I'm hearing. We've got this. We're in this together. Zodiac energies that are coming through, I'm just going to go off of the major arcana, but we have Capricorn, Leo, Gemini, Virgo, and Aries. And actually this is also me after I say I'm only going to do major arcana, but I just wanted to say this is also oh, but that's that's Sun in Gemini, 10 of Swords. So yeah, that's Gemini energy again. We also do have, well, let's just go with it, a Cancer moon and a Leo Mars, which could be significant. Yeah. Also Aries moon, I think, could be significant. Okay, so for the last part of your reading, you'll have to excuse me for not having the cover to the guidebook. I literally don't know how or when this happened. Probably during a move, but because I've moved a lot of freaking times. I also don't even have the actual deck with me because it's in Canada. So what we're going to do is get a passage for you from the Moonology guidebook to finish off your reading. Ooh, believe in the impossible. Blue moon. This is on page 112 and 113. The dates of November 2nd and November 3rd could be an important time for you, or just early November in general. And if I remember correctly, this is a pretty wintry scene in the deck, so the season of winter could also be important. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance, and that something one-off could well be about to happen. This card is a very positive sign if you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking too much of the universe. Whatever you're asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it's important that you believe in it. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about could never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. Freaking exactly. Group number 2, exactly. Yeah, and this phrase, whatever, if you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. That's because if you convince yourself it's not going to work out, then you're going to tell yourself, well, what's the point anyway? And you're not going to go for it. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So your affirmation is, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. Additional meanings for this card. Miss this chance and it might not come back anytime soon. What happened may only happen once. The person you're inquiring about is a rare find. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. This situation is unlikely to repeat. So this really reminds me of the message we got at the beginning of the reading. There's an opportunity for a turning point in your life, but it doesn't have to be a turning point. If you don't choose it and if you don't take action, it won't be a turning point. And so with this context here, it does seem to be suggesting that it's kind of a rare opportunity. It doesn't mean that if you miss this opportunity, it doesn't mean that an opportunity will never come again, but just that this one in particular seems to be quite special and quite rare. And it really would be in your best interest to go for it and to seize the day. The teaching of this card. There are usually 3 full moons between each equinox and solstice, and vice versa. Sometimes, though, we get 4 full moons in a single season. When that happens, the third of the season's 4 full moons is called a blue moon. At least, that was the original definition of a blue moon. These days, it's popular to use the blue moon for the second full moon in any calendar month that has 2 full moons. I also believe that the upcoming full moon in Capricorn, it actually might be happening right now when this video goes up, July, I don't know, end of July. We had 2 full moons in Capricorn in a row. So I would maybe call this full moon in Capricorn a blue moon. But yeah, wow, that message is like a perfect confirmation of everything we've just talked about. So group number 2, those are all of the messages that we have for you today. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. Now that the reading's over, I can mention that I've had a dog on my lap this whole time. She is just sleeping peacefully in my lap, and she didn't do that for group number 1. That was just for you guys. She's all snuggled up. So, I don't know. I just thought that was very endearing and sweet. Anyway, thank you for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick-a-card readings just like this one, and you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below, and finally my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to your beautiful counterpart, and to their higher self, and to anyone else who appeared in this reading, directly or indirectly. I'm sending love to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 3s. So if you guys chose this turquoise angel, this is going to be your reading. A little fun fact about this angel: this came as a keepsake when I purchased an Archangel Michael candle. So Archangel Michael could be significant to you. And I also wanted to mention that before I started filming this group, I had a song in my head, and the song is about someone named Catherine. So the name Catherine, or a name that starts with a K, could be significant to you. And recently, when I've had songs in my head for a group, I like to think about what key the song is in, because the musical notes have chakra associations, and so depending on the key of the song, it might be bringing attention to certain chakras for you. So this song happens to be in the key of G sharp, which is between G and A. So I feel like there's throat chakra energy being brought up for you and third eye chakra energy being brought up. One thing that you may do in this lifetime is use your voice to help people wake up, or you may create things as a way of spreading the truth, but like you do it in a creative way. So for example, let's say you made songs. Maybe at first glance, it's just a song, but when you look into the deeper meaning, you are actually making a commentary on something deeper, or you are, maybe the lyrics seem really simple at first, but they're actually revealing a deeper truth. It's like you kind of find these creative and inventive ways to make deep truths accessible and to make them interesting to people. So we are going to start by looking at these two oracle cards. We have the Transcendence Map Oracle and we have the Light Codes Oracle. From the Transcendence Map Oracle, this is card number 34. And the message is, while ringing roads get louder, silent temperance. And then from the light codes, I almost said light chords, you are unlimited. I wonder if music is significant to this group, because we had the throat chakra, which could be talking about singing, and then messages of creativity, ringing, and then I said chords by mistake, which I was thinking of musical chords. Yeah, music could be significant. Your angels could communicate to you through music, or you could be a musician yourself. So we're going to read this one from the guidebook. This oracle deck is still new to me, and I'm just getting acquainted with it. So card number 34, this is on pages 84 and 85, which could be significant numbers for you, or even August 4th and August 5th could be important dates coming up. Okay, so card 34 conveys an in-between stage. All is changing and balance is being installed. This energy is very linked to Nibiru, Libra, 7th house. Patience and rest as the resounding, and sound is capitalized. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this group has a special connection to like sound and music and the voice. Even Libra being Venusian, that's art, that's artistic, that's beauty. Okay, patience and rest as the resounding path is dripping and building into your life. The dodecahedron holds 12 pentagon faces. Embodiment is occurring. 12 is the tree of life and 5 is change. What was I just drawn to? Patience and rest as the resounding path is dripping and building into your life. So you could be creating an easier life for yourself, a life with more rest, or you're entering into a period of rest because you're preparing for something. I'm thinking of a bear that enters into hibernation. It's like maybe you're taking a hiatus or you're taking a rest and you're storing energy and nourishing yourself because you're preparing for something big. We also have these key words and phrases that could be significant to you, that might bring something up for you. So I'm going to read these as well. Death is metamorphosis, is atomic metaphysics. To die is to enter the cosmic stream of change. Cyclical incarnations, yet many in one. Terra, become the tether. Do you have on your uniform? Unity, blueprint, standing. Nestled cultivation and regridding. Silent temperance. Acquaintance with the great mystery. Sentimental salutations. While ringing roads get louder, Nibiru excavates and establishes pure divine law and order. Dodecahedron reinstalled. So I don't know what's coming up for you with these words and phrases, but something that's coming to me is that you might be examining or focus on your relationship with death. At 555 as I'm saying that, which is the number of change and which also came up here. So your relationship with death, and this could be like physical death, it could be ego death, your relationship to metamorphosis, to completely reinventing yourself. This could also be your relationship to the deceased. You may be feeling especially connected to passed on loved ones right now. And really, I'm hearing like letting the truth sink into your skin that we are not just this one lifetime. We are not just this one body. We will die and we will come back. We never really go away. We just keep evolving. There's something about this powerful realization that the death of the body is not really the end. And you're feeling connected to everyone who has lived here and everyone who will live here. And again, you could be like contacting souls who have crossed over, whether you knew them in this lifetime or not. This could be even like your ancestors from many generations ago, or people you looked up to who have now passed on, and feeling like, wow, they're really not gone. They're really, really still here. I was listening to music of an artist who passed away. Her name is Sophie. Maybe you know her. She's pretty iconic. But I was really feeling that, like, man, Sophie is really still here. And it makes me emotional to think about it. And just, yeah, I'm hearing like afterlife, feeling connected to the afterlife, feeling connected to the place that we go in between incarnations. And now I'm thinking of, there's a song Afterlife by Chami that's really good. I got questions. And that's in the key of G. So we had a G sharp song and a G song. Your throat chakra is really being your throat chakra is really being emphasized. And I just looked up and saw 808, which is a drum, which is music. Like, you have something with music. You have something with music, group number 3. Like, you're either gonna make music, or you have a really special connection to it, or like angels or deceased loved ones are communicating to you through music. That is just coming through so clearly. You may even start to be drawn to a new genre of music that you never really listened to before. You know, suddenly getting into classical music when you never really listened before, or suddenly getting into metal or R&B or K-pop or whatever it is. And just feeling like, in general, perhaps your tastes are changing. And really feeling the soul behind what you're consuming. So when you're listening to a song, you're really thinking about the person who made it and their soul and what their journey is and what they maybe were going through at the time. And this may even be something psychic, you know, when you're interacting with something, you actually feel the soul of the person who made it, or the soul of the person who left it there. Maybe you can feel my soul right now as you're consuming this video. But that's the kind of gift that is awakening within you right now. And you are unlimited because you really feel your existence as you are the drop in the sea, but you are also the sea. All these people, you are all of them. And it sounds weird, like, as a human with an ego to say this, like, but I see someone listening to a song as an example and being like, I made this. Like, no, like, your human name is not credited to this song, but the consciousness that brought forth this idea is you. And it's a trippy thing to say, but I think this is how you're feeling. You're feeling that one consciousness breathing everywhere. Okay, so let's get into your tarot now. So we're going to use 2 different tarot decks. For one, it's going to be the message you need to hear, and the other one is going to be, why do you need to hear this right now? What do my group number 3s need to hear right now? Some of you are really keeping this to yourself, eh? Like, you're having these deep spiritual experiences and kind of keeping it to yourself. But I don't think you necessarily feel lonely in that. You're just, maybe you don't feel called to really talk about it right now, and that's okay. We have Judgment and the 9 of Swords. Right away, old fears could be coming back because it's time for them to be released for good. The Three of Wands. And, ooh, and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so there's Mars energy, Pluto energy, Sun energy. Feels quite masculine, feels powerful. The Sun, I was gonna say Aries and Scorpio could be significant because like Mars and Pluto, that's Aries and Scorpio. And also I'm pretty sure that the Sun is exalted in Aries. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do feel that that is the case. Its rulership is Leo, but I think it's exalted in the sign of Aries. So yeah, those two energies, Aries and Scorpio, could be significant in some way. Also, a period of 7 months could be significant because that's how far away Aries and Scorpio are from each other. Yes, old fears coming up because it's time for them to be released. I got this visual of your fears as balloons that have helium in them so they can float away, but they've been buried underground. Even if a balloon has helium in it, it can't float away if it's under a bunch of layers of dirt. So it's kind of like fears that you have buried and now they can't be released. And so if you want them to fly away, which this is just an example, okay, don't release balloons into the sky, it's bad for the environment. But just in this hypothetical world, if you want to release these balloons, you have to dig them up. And then once all of that dirt is gone, they can float up into the sky and be gone forever. So you may be called to do some digging up of old fears that maybe you convinced yourself that they were gone. No, they're not. It's just that they haven't been triggered. An example. I shouldn't laugh at this because maybe some of you actually have this, but I was thinking of someone who has a phobia of seagulls. Okay, and so they're like, yeah, I used to be so afraid of seagulls, but I haven't been afraid of them in years now. I haven't been afraid of seagulls in like 10 years. And someone's like, oh really? So when was the last time you went to the beach? 10 years ago. So it's like, bitch, you're still afraid of seagulls. You just haven't gone to the beach. Like you've just avoided the fear or buried the fear for 10 years and not had to face it, but that doesn't mean you overcame it. So, I mean, probably not seagulls for the majority of you, but it's like something that you're afraid of or something that makes you insecure that maybe you haven't had to think about it because you've been actively avoiding it, but it's still there and it does want to be released. Why does it want to be released? Because it's time for you to level up or expand in some way. And if you don't face this fear, that's going to be really hard. It's as if that person who is afraid of seagulls, maybe they're meant to be like a professional surfer. Maybe that's their destiny. Maybe that's their life path. But how are they going to go to the beach and surf if they're afraid of seagulls? So the fear's got to go. Like the fear, maybe you can live without facing it. Maybe you can live a comfortable life without facing it, but you will not be able to expand in the way that you're meant to. So there's something like that your soul wants to do bigger. It feels like expanding on something you're already doing, but you'll have to go bigger. Take it to the next level. And so old fears have to be addressed. Because judgment, it can talk about this revival or resurrection. So it feels like a resurrection of fear and anxiety. But this is also about upheaval and a moment of truth. So it's like, it's time to face these fears once and for all. And in the end, this will bring you, yes, more abundance, more wealth, and also more fulfillment and more stability in your life. So let's get some clarification about this message. Why is this coming up right now? There could also be something you used to practice or you used to put consistent efforts into that has kind of been on the back burner. And because of an upcoming opportunity, you're going to have to get back to that practice and brush up. So an example that's coming to my mind for that is like, maybe you used to study French or another language if French is already your first language. But anyway, let's just say French for this example. And then you kind of like left it on the back burner and maybe got a little rusty. And then, oh, what's this? An opportunity to study in France? An opportunity to go on a business trip to France? We better get those textbooks back out. Or like maybe you played an instrument and then you hadn't played it in a long time. And now someone needs a supporting pianist. Someone needs a supporting flute player. Like, and we're like, oh crap, I gotta brush up again. We gotta get back to it because this opportunity is upcoming and I want to do it. I want to help this person, kind of thing. So yeah, it kind of feels like maybe someone needs you. Maybe someone needs you. Like, oh, I need you to translate. We need your help. And you're like, oh shit, okay, I'm gonna brush up on that language again because these people need my help. Revisiting something because someone's going to need your skills. It doesn't necessarily feel urgent, but it does feel important. Okay, we have the Hanged Man. Ooh. Confirmation. A little dinging. We have the Fool. And we have Works with the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, so this message is being brought up because not only is it going to help you, it's going to help other people. If you're able to face your fears and do something that is out of your comfort zone, it's going to help you and it's going to help others. This could be likely people in your immediate surroundings. This could be a team or a group that you already belong to. And we have more Mars energy. Interesting. Taking action, being bold, being brave. When I saw these two cards come out, what immediately came to my mind was entering into a new age. I think the reason that came to me is because of this is Pisces energy and Aquarius energy. And I was thinking of how we entered from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, like as a collective. So this could be you or your soul group or the collective at large that is entering into a new era. And maybe you've been feeling this shift and maybe you've even, I feel like, yeah, this is a confirmation of what I'm about to say, because I was going to say you maybe feel called to help the collective navigate this energy shift. Because even if people don't have the awareness that like, oh, the collective is going through a shift right now, even if they don't have that awareness, they can feel it. So you might feel called to help people make sense of what is happening. An easy example of this is like an astrologer saying like, oh, the reason we're feeling like this right now, or the reason the world is going through this right now is because, to pull from a recent example, Mars is conjuncting Uranus right now. And so shit is crazy right now. Like, and then people feel validated and maybe they can get some guidance on how to navigate the situation. So like there's something that the collective is going through. And I think you're going to feel called to be a guiding voice. I'm hearing a guiding voice in the midst of this transition by sharing your knowledge. With this Hanged Man, you're bringing a new perspective, a new and fresh perspective. I wonder if in some way this is your fear. Like when we talk about coming out of your comfort zone and facing a fear, maybe this is it. The fear of sharing your voice in this way. While ringing roads get louder, silent temperance, something is ringing inside of you. It wants to be expressed. Even this, with this trumpet here, it's like something wants to reverberate in you. Something wants to make sound within you. Something wants to speak up within you. Something wants to be channeled through you as well. You might feel there might be a space that you want to enter into, but you feel like you don't know enough about it, which I don't even know if that's necessarily true. That might be a little bit of imposter syndrome happening. Like, I don't know if I'm the right person to, oh, okay, I just heard we need as many voices as possible. So for you thinking, I'm not sure if I'm the right person to speak on this, we need as many people helping as possible, as many people helping the collective through this shift. And not everybody is going to resonate with your interpretation, but that's why we need, like, we don't need one person's perspective guiding everybody, because there's no one person that everybody's going to resonate with. And that's why we need many different voices so that everyone can find the one they resonate with. You know, it's even like tarot readers are an excellent example of that. Like, we need many different styles, many different personalities, because everyone's going to resonate with something differently. So it's just about trusting that whoever is meant to resonate with you is going to find you. Whoever is meant to hear your message delivered in your way is going to find you. Oh, I'm having some like burps come up. Sorry if that's gross, but I feel like that's also bringing attention to like energy that is stuck in your throat. I almost feel like this represents your throat. And there's a ringing that's getting louder and louder, something that wants to come out. I think this is like an ankh. It's just upside down. And that's a symbol of eternal life, which we were talking about, you know, that truth really resonating inside of you. That there is more to just this one life, that nobody really dies, nobody really disappears. Maybe that's the message you want to share, has something to do with that, or something to do with our interconnectedness. Maybe you're not meant to do this alone. Maybe you'll do this in a group. There is a Capricorn symbol here. Maybe there's a Capricorn who resonates with you or who is helping you. Oh, wow. I just noticed Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. That's all in a block. You know, Cap, Aquarius, Pisces season. So this is very roughly, but like January, February, March. Those months could be significant. Okay. didn't I say 7 months, a period of 7 months? At the time that I'm filming this, 7 months from now is February, which falls like right into what I just said, the January, February, March. That's so interesting. Of course, I don't know when you're going to be watching this, so please feel free to claim whatever time frame resonates with you, whether that's 7 months from when you're watching or the months of January through March. You could even claim both, but I feel like those are important. I personally don't believe in cusps in astrology, but maybe you do. And so like a Capricorn Aquarius cusp or a Aquarius Pisces cusp could be significant. Yeah, okay. So for the last message of this reading, I shouldn't say I don't believe in them, I just don't personally use them. Yeah, okay. For the last message of this reading, we are going to look in the Moonology Guidebook. I don't have the deck, it's in Canada, and I also don't have the cover, and I don't know why, but the guidebook is intact, the messages are intact, so we're gonna get a message for you. Ooh, a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. Give and take could well be the answer to what... Didn't we got Libra energy in your guidebook passage, Libra and 7th house energy. So maybe that was talking about a new partnership. Give and take could well be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start negotiating or even renegotiating. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there's a restart for you and for someone else. A new relationship could be beginning. And if that's the case, the chances are this will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. In anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in your business or in your personal life. Libra is the sign of relating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who will be open to talking things through. Avoid being selfish, it won't get you anywhere at this time. Attune to the moon. Reach out to someone and let them know you care. Additional meanings for this card: feel more, think less. Marriage or engagement is on the cards. A legal matter will go your way. Pay some attention to your appearance, but don't be all about appearances. The teaching. Libra is the sign of love and harmony, negotiation and relationships. It is harmonious, kind, and luxurious, and always aiming for balance. So when we have the new moon in Libra, or at any time you draw this card, there's a restart possible for anything and everything connected to partnerships, negotiations, appearances, and justice. Remember that Libra is depicted by a set of scales. This energy wants to bring things back to equilibrium. And I'm noticing we have that repeating 5 again. So we saw 555 in this reading, and then here's 55. And your Transcendence map passage was also talking about Libra 7th house energy and 5 and change. So be on the lookout for repeating 5s, or maybe you're already seeing them. You could also be a life path 5, but yeah, there could very well be something that you're not doing alone. You're doing it in a partnership or in a team. And you may feel like you want to do it alone, but it's like you may need others' input to balance out your energy or to balance out your message. Something like that. And this may be hard for you. I feel like you have a strong sense of, while you do feel connected to everyone, you may feel a strong sense of like individuality and like, I want to do this my way, which is beautiful. And we do need your unique expression, but there's something about like collaboration, or this is like teamwork, and needing it to be balanced out. So with that in mind, okay, some of you are keeping your vision to yourself because you want to do it all by yourself. And so maybe this is spirit encouraging you to invite others in to your world, to invite others into your project, to invite others in on your vision, because their feedback, their input, their contribution could be very, very valuable. And to not just think about what you want it to look like, but to think about how is it best going to be received by the collective. Because the way you want to make it and the way you want to express yourself is very important and should be considered, but the way it's received by the other party should also be considered. Yeah. And you can find a balance that you and that everyone is happy with. Okay, so I think those are all of the messages for my group number 3. So we're going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick-a-card readings just like this one, and you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, to your angels, Archangel Michael, if you resonate with him. I also think that on the Judgment card, because there's traditionally an angel on this card, and I think that's Archangel Gabriel, so you might have a connection to Archangel Gabriel as well. But I'm sending love to all of your spiritual team who's working with you, your spirit guides, your angels, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the Fluorite, man, I meant to check. I called this an octahedron in the intro, and I wanted to make sure that that's actually what it's called. So let me see. I am Googling octahedron, and yes, this appears to be what that is. Yeah, so if you chose this lovely stone here, then this is going to be your reading. A few messages that came through for my group number 4s as I was preparing to start filming your reading. I got the message of rose, just rose. So that could be a significant flower to you, or the fragrance of roses could be significant. Rose water, rose hip, rosé wine, or somebody named Rose, or like Rosa, or something similar to that. And then I had also looked up, rose is the birth flower for the month of June. So someone born in June or just the month of June could be significant to you. This could even be a message about a baby that will be born in June. And then the other thing that came through is your family is loved and protected. That was a message for you. And also, don't be afraid to be laughed at, because they are laughing with you. So that could be something literal, like they're not laughing at you, they're laughing with you. Or that could just be a message in general about taking yourself less seriously. And I had this image of a parent or just an adult who is doing something silly to make a little child laugh. You know, maybe they're like putting a bowl on their head or something, and the child thinks it's hilarious, you know? And the child's not thinking like, oh my gosh, that adult is so dumb, like that's not where a bowl goes. They're not thinking like that. They're just thinking like, aw, that's silly, you're so funny. Or maybe they're just amused. You know, it's this feeling of like you are being okay with someone else's laughter, or being okay with laughing at yourself. because you're just embracing the joy of it, or you're being a bigger person in some way. I hope that that makes sense. So anyway, let's get into your cards. So we have a couple of different oracle decks to start off the reading. We have the Transcendence Map Oracle and the Light Codes Oracle, and you guys actually got 2 of the Light Codes cards. So starting off with the Transcendence Map, we have card number 27, and it says, end, the beginning, condition flips into unconditioned love. You're learning what unconditional love truly is and what it truly feels like. You are realizing that you still love someone, or that you don't want to stop loving someone, that you haven't stopped loving someone. You're realizing that you don't want to end a relationship or a connection, or realizing that a connection is not really over. It's not an ending, it's just a changing of dynamic. And this person you're realizing that you love, it could even be yourself. Of course, it could be another person, but realizing that you love yourself unconditionally is also a way to interpret this. And then from the Light Codes Oracle, we have, well, this definitely sounds like self-love. Don't settle, you deserve the best. And own your individual expression of the divine. You are unique and perfect. I love that. And we're gonna read this one from the guidebook because I'm still pretty new to this deck. So this was, what did I say? Number 27. Okay. Okay, so betrayal, abuse, and manipulation are collapsing. This can feel very uneasy as it comes up and out in your life experience. You are meant to go through it all, and you are dissolving this energy within and for the collective. It's done. You are safe to trust again. Patterns are still processing in the nervous system, which is called the ease system in this passage. I really like that. Thank you, ease system. And you're returning to true intimacy and love. And then we also have these keywords and phrases, which I'll read as they might bring up a message or conjure up an image for you. Venus vibration, rewiring and reverse forward engineering. Are you kidding me? The rose? Girl, are you kidding me? That actually freaked me out. The rose, the pentacle, the apple. A mystical goddess of creation, alchemy. Lead becomes gold again. Oh, rose gold, that's also a thing. Rose gold. Condition flips into unconditioned love. Condition was weaponized. Climate is condition. Gifts abundant. Crux essence. Cross into. End, the beginning. A surrender lull. Then an eye pop. I think this lull is referring to the lollipop, but it's also making me think of someone laughing, like LOL. And so that's kind of funny. Haha. Sorry. It's funny that we were talking about laughing. And this passage is on pages 70 and 71, which could be significant numbers to you. And then, yeah, and then it's time to get into the tarot. But I mean, this unconditional love is definitely being directed towards yourself. And okay, there's a message of the unconditional love that you have for someone naturally and inevitably makes you love everyone else more too. So that could be love that you have for yourself that helps you to grow your capacity to love others. Or it could be like you're so in love with someone else and it's just they're really teaching you what true love is. They're really teaching you what true love is. Like when you truly give your heart to someone and they're expanding your heart so that you can love everyone else and everything else even more and love life even more. That's beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna get into the tarot now, and there's two different decks we're gonna use. For the first deck, this is going to answer the question of what do you need to hear right now? And then the second deck is going to answer the question of why do you need to hear this right now? Why is your spiritual team bringing this to you right now? What do my group number 4s need to hear right now? The first deck we're using, this is the Tarot of Luck and Happiness. What do my group number 4s need to hear? We have the Page of Wands. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And then we have the Seven of Swords, and this fell on my lap. And I actually feel like that's a good sign. Okay, I'm gonna revisit that guidebook in just a second, but I think that what this was trying to say is that if there's ever any deceptive, dishonest, fishy energy around you, it's gonna jump right out at you. It's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. You're gonna be able to call it right away. And so it won't be able to hurt you or mess with you. Just the way it fell in my lap, it felt like deception being made obvious, or unraveling convoluted energy, unraveling trickery is going to become so easy. Like it's all just going to fall right into your lap. And that really reminds me of, it was the first sentence, and it kind of caught me off guard of how just straightforward it was. Betrayal, abuse, and manipulation are collapsing. You are dissolving this energy within and for the collective. It's done. Yeah. You need to know that you're protected. You and your family. And family could be your like human biological family. It could be your soul family. It could be your spiritual team. You and yours, you and your loved ones are protected. I think it's interesting that we have a page here, because I feel like I've brought up children and babies a couple of times, even though we're just at the start of the reading. Child and baby energy has come up a couple times. Like we were talking about like a baby being born and making a little kid laugh, and talking about unconditional love, which if it's someone you're going to love unconditionally, it's your children, you know? So that, I wonder if some of you are welcoming a child soon, or you maybe have children, and Spirit wants you to know that they're gonna be okay. I know the world is kind of scary, and it's normal to worry about your loved ones, so maybe Spirit just wants to bring you that reassurance. We definitely don't have to interpret it that way, because I know that not everybody has or plans to have children, but that could definitely be a confirmation for some of you. There's a couple different ways that I can interpret these two cards. The first one is that there's going to be a transition in your life where something that you used to do just for fun and not very seriously, it's going to become more serious. So it could be that you start to take your practice more seriously and do it more consistently. It could be that it turns into a job or a source of income. It could be that people start relying on you to show up and do this thing. It could maybe even be you're going to start to become a teacher or a tutor to show others how to do it. So it's like something that was just for fun, just a hobby, just casual. It's becoming a little bit more like structured and serious right now. And, you know, of course that can play out in so many different ways, but it's like, I don't know, maybe you were going to the gym like once a month and you weren't taking it very seriously, and it was just like something that you did for fun whenever you feel like it. But then you're like, wait, this feels kind of good. Or wait, I feel like I'm kind of stronger. Or I like how this makes me feel. I'm going to start going more often. And then you make like a routine schedule that you're going to go once a week or twice a week. So it's like you're showing up more often and really putting a serious effort into it now. Or, you know, something that maybe you were posting something online and at first it was just for fun, but then it started to gain traction, and now, you know, you have an audience and they're expecting you to post more. And so you make a posting schedule, and I mean, not that you have to, but I think you want to, because you're like, oh, this is exciting. You're making a posting schedule and you're like brainstorming different ideas, and you're becoming more consistent with your posting, and like maybe learning about algorithms and stuff. Like we're really starting to get into it rather than just being like willy-nilly about it. And there's nothing wrong with being willy-nilly about it. That is completely your right. And we are here to dilly-dally and willy-nilly. That is our birthright, our divine right. And so I just think you're doing this because you want to, not because anyone is making you. It's like exciting to think of this becoming a consistent and like serious thing in your life. And then I feel like I had another example, but I can't remember. But, oh, it could be like if you really like reading books, and then you join a book club and it's like, okay, now I like have to read these books and I have to show up. So it's like something is becoming a responsibility, but it still feels fun and it's exciting to be able to do it more regularly. Yeah, and then there was also that message of you could be mastering a skill and now feeling like you're ready to teach someone else how to do it. So, you know, like if you read tarot cards, maybe you're like, I'm gonna make a course, or like, I'm gonna start giving other people readings. I'm gonna start teaching other people how to do this kind of thing. So that's all of that I just said, that was all falling under the umbrella of one interpretation that came to my mind. So it's like something you're already doing, but just for fun now, it's going to grow into something more consistent and serious. There's another interpretation of this, and I think that this is for those of you who haven't started something new yet, but you're thinking about it. And Spirit wants you to know that this could be a deceivingly a lot of work. I have my filing cabinet next to me, and I bought it and it wasn't assembled. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh yeah, like I can assemble it, no problem. When I tell you how many freaking pieces and thingamabobs, what do you call them, were in this thing, oh my gosh, it was the biggest pain in the neck. Like I'm proud of myself, I assembled that thing, but I did not expect it to. I was like, are you kidding me? This instruction manual is like 40,000 pages long, geez. So it's, you know, it's that kind of energy where you might be thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try this new thing, that'll be fun, and maybe don't realize how much work it's gonna be, or how much effort it's gonna be, how much time it will require of you. And that doesn't mean don't do the thing, of course not, but just be aware of that, and in case it affects your decision. I'm also seeing as an example someone who's like, I think I'm gonna get a fish tank in my house. Because they're like, that will be pretty. It'll be pretty and fun to watch the fish. And yes, it will. But maybe that person doesn't realize like you have to clean the tank regularly, and you have to adjust the pH levels of the water, and you have to care for the different fish in these different ways, and you have to do this and that. Like they didn't think about all of the effort that it entails. They were just thinking about the fun part. Or even like when you get a kitten, it's like maybe you just think about cute snuggles, and you don't think about they're gonna scratch up all your furniture, and they're gonna like ruin your clothes, and they're gonna throw up on the carpet, and they're gonna try to bolt outside every time you open the door, and you can't leave them alone, and they're gonna try to chew on your cables, and you have to watch them all the time, and they want to play every 3 seconds. Like it's kind of maybe a bigger responsibility than you realize. And again, this is not to say that you shouldn't do it, because maybe you just need to be prepared about what is going to be asked of you. And then once you are aware of that, you're like mentally ready for it, and you can still have an amazing experience and reap all of those fun and beautiful times which made you want it in the first place. But if you go into it completely unexpecting, it could just be kind of a jarring, I suppose. So, you know, some of you might think like, oh crap, okay, I gotta prepare a little bit more, or you might change your mind and be like, never mind, I don't want that anymore. And that's totally fine as well. I think Spirit just wants you to be aware. And I do also feel like we kind of partly already answered why this message is coming to you, but let's pull some cards from our second deck. So this is the Thoth Tarot. And we're gonna see, why is your spiritual team bringing you this message right now? I'm also getting this this imagery of someone who's really hungry and they're at a buffet and they're like, oh yeah, I can totally eat all of this, because in the moment they're hungry and they're excited, and then they're like halfway through and they're like, what have I done? I can't do this. So I don't know, just make sure that you're not like signing up for too much. If there's some way that you can do a trial run, maybe you can babysit someone's cat before you adopt one yourself. You know, that kind of thing. Or maybe my partner and I had to learn how to do this. Like, order less than what you think you can eat and then see how you feel. Because we do be getting carried away sometimes. Just, yeah, before you take on anything new, take on a bit less than what you think you can do. And then just see how it goes before you like commit to the whole thing or commit to the real deal. And it may even be a purchase that you want to make, and maybe there's a free trial that you can try out, or you can borrow from someone else to see if you're actually going to use it. Okay, why is, I was gonna say your spiritual team, and then I felt called to say the divine. Why is the divine bringing you this message? We have the Eon, which is judgment. We have science, which is the Six of Swords. It's, you know what? I feel like I haven't been reading the keywords for the other groups. I'm just doing that for your group. Interesting. And then we have the Ace of Wands. Well, yeah, some of them are the same, but these are different. Judgment, the Six of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. I do feel like whatever it is that you're wanting to do, or whatever it is that you're wanting to expand in your life, most of you ultimately will probably choose to go through with it. And it may be something that you're meant to do. Don't settle. You deserve the best. You are unique and perfect. Own your individual expression of the divine. Many of you are in the process of, I'm hearing you're going through something beautiful. You're in the process of crafting your dream life, and you're not going to settle. I'm also hearing don't get discouraged. So it might take time for you to really find the perfect balance in your life and the perfect timing to introduce certain things into your life, but you can get there. things will get easier. The Six of Swords is like a tricky situation or a turbulent situation getting easier and getting more peaceful. The water's clearing, the weather clearing. I'm hearing that as well, the weather clearing. Someone's mental health could be improving, you or someone close to you. This feels like someone getting their spark back, getting their spark for life back. And yeah, because this is also, we were talking about this in another group that got the Judgment card. It's like a renaissance, a revival, a resurrection. Maybe this new thing that you're doing, or this new thing that you're thinking of doing, is going to be ultimately very good for your mental health. And it's, yeah, and you don't want to give up on it. Because we were talking about, you don't want to give up on someone you love or something you love. You don't want to give up on that hope. It's not over. And I think you don't want to give up on yourself and the idea of improving your mental health, of truly being happy. So even if there's something new you want to introduce into your life, or something you want to expand in your life, and even if you don't know exactly how that's going to play out just yet, don't give up on the idea itself. Don't give up on the hope. It's something that in the long term will vastly improve the quality of your life, but that it might just be a little bit messy to figure out at first. And I'm thinking now of someone who wants to move, and like moving is going to do wonders for their mental health, but like the logistics of moving can be so stressful and difficult and overwhelming. And so it's like, yes, you have to go through that initial overwhelm, but it's going to be so worth it. And don't miss out on the years and years of peace and joy and love that this is going to bring you, just because you don't want to like figure out the annoying, messy stuff in the beginning. It will get easier. It will get easier as you go. So maybe this message is coming to you because like some of you may be feeling overwhelmed, and that message of don't be discouraged is coming back too. Okay, sorry, I'm going all the way back now to that message of they're not laughing at you, they're laughing with you. I think that maybe for many of you this is not literal. Like, it's not actually about someone laughing with you. It's more the sentiment behind those words when we say that. It's like, no, we actually have good intentions. Like, please don't take it personally. We're with you. We're on the same team. When we say we're not laughing at you, we're laughing with you, that's kind of the sentiment behind it, right? And so your spiritual team may be bringing this up because like there's something that you're taking personally when you don't have to. For example, if you're at the start of a new journey and you're struggling a lot, that has nothing to do with you like being not good at it or being not good enough. It's actually very normal. And I'm also seeing okay, I'll use the kitten example. I'm seeing, someone's maybe they're talking to a family member. I'm thinking of getting a kitten, and the family member says, oh, kittens are a lot of work, eh? Like they're gonna be scratching up all your stuff, and you can't leave them alone. You gotta be watching them all the time, and talking about the difficulties of it. And then the person like taking that personally and being like, this person doesn't think I'm fit to be a cat parent. Like, or this person thinks that I can't do it. Or like, why do they think, like they're kind of, they're taking the words personally, or taking it to mean something bad or discouraging, when in fact the family member was just saying that, like, I just want you to be ready for what you're signing up for. You know, I don't mean to say you can't do it, but you just got to know these things. And I don't know, maybe it's an issue with the family member's tone. I wasn't there. These people don't exist. It's just an example. But there's some dynamic like that, you know. Don't get discouraged by that. Don't take it personally. Like, and when we say, or when someone says, like, this is a big responsibility, you know, this is a big commitment, it takes a lot of work, it's going to be hard, that's not a comment on how ready you are for it, or how well you can do it, or that you shouldn't do it. It's not like that. It's I think it's people wanting to help. And even if it doesn't come across that way, it's important that you don't take it that way, because if you do take it that way, you could rob yourself of the experience. Like, if you took that family member's words to heart and you were like, fine, then I won't get a cat, then you're gonna miss out on years of the love and the cuddles that you wanted in the first place, because those are there. It just comes with the messy initial stages. I like, the kittens calm down after about a year. They do calm down, you know. It's hard in the beginning, and you know that there's all the beauty on the other side. And I think maybe, like, if people are warning you about the difficult initial phase, you kind of take it in a distorted way, or like take it the wrong way, which, that's not a judgment, by the way. It's just, please don't be discouraged. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So for the last message of the reading, we're going to use the Moonology Guidebook. I don't actually have the deck because it's in Canada, and I don't have the cover either. I don't know why, but she's, you know, all the messages are still in here. So let's get a message from the Moonology deck for you. You got the same one as group number 3. That's so funny. New moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle begins. I don't know off the top of my head when the next new moon in Libra is going to be, but it would either be like very beginning of October or very end of September. So around that time could be significant for you. Okay. Give and take could well be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start negotiating, or even renegotiating. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there's a restart for you and for someone else. A new relationship could be beginning. And if that's the case, the chances are this will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. In anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in your personal life. So that might be a hint for making something less difficult, is like doing it with someone else. Like, you can lean on each other, you can work together, you can make it less crazy. Libra is the sign of relating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who will be open to talking things through. Avoid being selfish. It won't get you anywhere at this time. Attune to the moon. Reach out to someone and let them know you care. Additional meanings for this card. Feel more, think less. Marriage or engagement is on the cards. A legal matter will go your way. Pay some attention to your appearance, but don't be all about appearances. So it's kind of like that message of not taking yourself too seriously or taking things too personally. The teaching. Libra is the sign of love and harmony, negotiation and relationships. It is harmonious, kind, and luxurious, and always aiming for balance. So when we have the new moon in Libra, or at any time you draw this card, there's a restart possible for anything and everything connected to partnerships, negotiations, appearances, and justice. Remember that Libra is depicted by a set of scales. This energy wants to bring things back to equilibrium. Okay. Someone with Libra placements could also be significant. And it's funny because you got the new moon in Libra, and moon in Libra is the energy that corresponds to the Two of Swords, which is about, like, you have to make a choice. Are you going to do this or that? Are you going to do this or not? And I think Spirit's advice is do it, because Spirit says, I know deep down you want to do it, but with information and with education and with preparation, and you can handle it. You can handle it all. And it seems like you won't do it alone, judging from this new moon in Libra passage. So is there anything else to mention? Other astrological placements that could be significant are Sun in Virgo and Moon in Aquarius, and also Mercury in Aquarius. And yeah. This could also be Scorpio energy. Yumi's making some snorting sounds. I think Yumi has a Scorpio moon, actually, so she's piping up because she's represented. Okay, so those are all of the messages that I have for you, group number 4. So we're going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings, just like this one, and you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number 5s, so if you guys chose the Opalite Owl, this is going to be your reading. So the first message that is coming through for my group number 5s is that you are someone who is pure of heart. You need to know this, you need to be reminded of this. Spirit wants you to release any feelings of guilt or shame that you're holding on to for how something turned out, I'm hearing. Like, you need to not blame yourself or feel like something was your fault. And then when I was preparing to film your group, I had this song in my head, and it's actually a song that came back to me after many years. Like, I used to listen to it a lot and then I kind of forgot about it, and I used it in one of my stories recently, and now it's just back in my head. But it's by Above and Beyond, and it's a song called Giving It Out. So I looked up the lyrics, and the ones that were really standing out to me: there's only so much you can do. My heart is breaking. I kept on giving it out because I love you, but oh, this is not enough for me. Now I want to be free. You can call out my name and tell me about your pain, but I'm not coming back to you, baby. I'll be giving it out, but it's not going to come back to you. Baby, call out my name, tell me all about your shame, but I'm not coming back to you, baby. And then in the end, yeah, giving out all the good stuff, giving it out to somebody who loves me, somebody who loves me. So I don't know how that resonates with you, but it does sound like no longer accepting unrequited feelings, no longer accepting one-sided connections. This could be a message of someone trying to come back into your life after mistreating you or just not giving you what you truly deserved. Someone's trying to come back and say that they're sorry and they've changed their ways and this and that. And it seems that while you may have forgiven this person and you don't have ill will towards them, you're just like, I'm not, like, I appreciate it, but no, like, we're not doing this again. And maybe that's even guidance or confirmation for some of you. Like, if someone is trying to get back into your life or rekindle something, that might not be the best idea. And then I also looked into the group itself, Above and Beyond. So it's 3 people. 2 members are from the UK and 2 members are from Finland. and they were formed in the year 2000. So that might be significant for some of you. But yeah, let's get into your cards now. So we have 2 oracle decks that we're going to start off with. This is the Transcendence Map Oracle and the Light Codes Oracle. So starting with the Transcendence Map, we have card number 11. Oh my gosh, it says discernment, the purified expression of judgment. I feel like that message is so relevant. You're being discerning. You're not being judgmental, you're being discerning. You're protecting your heart, you're protecting your energy. And even this sneaky snake, this might be a very specific message for my group number 5s. I think you'll know if this group is for you, but it's like someone trying to come crawling back to you or crawl their way back into your life. And while you do have compassion for you, I'm even hearing like, I believe you. I believe you that you've changed. I believe you that you've had this awakening and that you've had these epiphanies and become a better person. I believe you, but also no thank you. Like, I'm gonna protect my energy this time. I do want to read this one from the guidebook just because this is a new deck for me, so we can get acquainted with it together. Something I am thinking about, and I don't know if this is intentional, is that this card is number 11, which is the same as the Justice card. And then there's also scales on it, which is justice themed. So let's see what we have for card number 11. This passage is on the pages 38 and 39, which could be significant numbers to you. Perhaps March 8th and March 9th will be significant dates. Also the years 1983, 1993, or I suppose it could be 1938, 1939. But let's see. With card 11, a decision is up for making. It's the correct time and space. You are very discerning. Trust that. This can also be about a specific situation from the past, present, or future that you are seeing more clearly. You are witnessing from a more decisive and accurate capacity. There is definitely a feeling of not repeating the same patterns, not repeating the same cycle, not repeating the same mistakes. And I'm also thinking of, while at first I was thinking of the snake in terms of shedding your skin. Oh, well, there it is. That's what I was trying to say. At first, I was thinking of it as someone being sneaky and crawling back in. The second thing that came to me was shedding your skin, as I just said. So it could also be that you're really just ready to remove stale energies from your life and perhaps even shed a part of your old identity or how you used to relate to people, how you used to show up for people, and just freeing yourself. Like the song lyric said, now I want to be free. I also sense the energy of a bestie around you, group number 5, like someone who is really rooting for you, someone who really wants the best for you. Some of you might have, like, I know, for example, my best friends are such good examples for me of the type of treatment I deserve. And so if someone's coming around me with funny business, I'm like, my bestie would not let this fly. My bestie would never talk to me like this. And they just really show me what it means to be treated well. And I sense that kind of energy around you. So this could be someone who's already in your life and Spirit's encouraging you to really lean on them for support at this time, or just reach out to them, spend more time with them, let them remind you how lovable you are and how you should love yourself. And I'm sure you do the same for them. Or it could be that a bestie like this, a best friend like this, is going to be coming into your life. But that's a really sweet energy that just came through. And then for your Light Codes Oracle, we have You Are Unlimited. And this is the same message that group, I think it was group number 3, they got this exact same card. You are unlimited. You are powerful. You are talented. We need some affirmations. My group number 5s, you need some positive affirmations. I think you hold yourself to a very high moral standard, but I think sometimes that can cause you to harshly judge yourself or blame yourself when you don't have to. And I think that you tend to let poor behavior slide on other people's ends, like, but then you never let it slide for yourself. And it's like, maybe you need a reminder that you're human and you're allowed to be in a bad mood, you're allowed to have bad days, you're allowed to make mistakes. I don't know why this is coming to my mind right now, but I'm kind of thinking of celebrities right now, because you'll see these stories of people being like, I met so and so and they were so rude and blah blah blah, and like trashing them. And it's like, you could have just caught them on a bad day. Like, maybe they don't always want to be smiling and hugging you and taking pictures with you. Like, they're human, come on now. Like, and then you'll see other people being like, well, I met them and they were really, really nice to me. Like, they're just a person, you know. Sometimes they're gonna be in a good mood, sometimes they're gonna be in a bad mood. And like, I'm sure all of us have come across as rude to someone at some point. And I don't know, maybe that is like, with this kind of looks like a mirror, that maybe something you worry about quite a bit. Like, I hope I didn't come off as rude to that person. I hope I didn't hurt that person's feelings. I should have said this or that better. And it's just it's not fair. Like, you don't intentionally try to hurt people, and you already hold yourself to a really high moral standard. And, you know, like, the reality is that we're all going to unintentionally, you know, say the wrong thing or piss someone off sometimes, and you don't have to beat yourself up for it if you know you're doing your best and you know that your intentions are good and you're not like purposely trying to do anything wrong or bad. There's just a feeling of being quite strict, I guess is a good word, quite strict with yourself in that sense. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get into the tarot now. And there's two different decks that I want to use. For one deck, we're going to answer the question, what's the message you need to hear today? And for the second deck, we're going to answer the question of why do you need to hear this right now? Or why is this message coming to you at this time? I think I forgot to do something. 1 second. Yeah, I didn't read this. Oh man, I may have forgotten this in some other groups too. I wanted to read this for all of the groups. It's a page of keywords and phrases that might bring up messages or certain energies for you. So I'll read them out. Discernment, the purified expression of judgment. Low tide reveals the contents in each crevice. Crevice, birth, Trinity vortex, darkness of the womb gate. Steel, annealing, wane, quiet awareness. Serpent energy is also a hijacked conception, is the flow in all. So there may be bits and pieces of that have a significance to you. If not, it's okay. I actually think I forgot to do this in some groups, so, but I thought I would share that passage with you. Okay. Ooh, let's take those. You have the Hermit and the Six of Pentacles, which when I saw those two together, I immediately thought working on something alone. These kind of look similar to the streaks. This is kind of a similar motif. Kind of reminds me of like if a cat scratched it or something. We also have 9 and 6, 96, 69, could be significant numbers. Someone with an Earth moon, Virgo moon, Taurus moon, Capricorn moon. Ooh. Taurus rising, Aquarius rising, we have the Three of Cups, Mercury in Cancer. And we have the Lovers, Gemini. Gemini and Virgo and Libra are pretty strong here. And someone could be Gemini with Mercury in Cancer. And there's another 369. 369. I'm just saying these astrological placements for confirmation. You don't have to resonate with all of them or any of them really, but just in case. This is a really beautiful message. The Hermit, I am taking a bit literally in the sense that some of you may resonate with being in a hermit mode or just being in a more reserved energy right now. Or there's something that you're hiding. Some of you could be hiding an aspect of yourself or hiding an emotion that you're currently going through. This also kind of looks like, I'm thinking of dark blinds and there's just rays of light shooting through, but the light is interrupted. It's not a consistent stream of light coming in. It's like fragmented, if that's the right word. Only showing parts of it, dropping hints of who you are or dropping hints of how you feel, but not showing all of it. And an example that's actually coming to my mind right now is like someone who is going through a dark time. Maybe they're going through a period of depression or they're going through a period of grief, and they might kind of, for example, every now and then they might joke about being sad, like make a joke out of it or drop hints about it or just kind of sprinkle in something to hint what they really want to express, but they're not showing the whole truth of it. But the ones who really love and care about you, and I'm thinking about that best friend energy, and the ones who are really attuned to you, they will okay, this may be a specific example for somebody as well, but I just heard like coming out. I thought of someone coming out and to their best friend, and their best friend being like, I know and I love you. And like the people who love you and who have been tuned into your energy, there's nothing you could show about yourself or reveal that would shock them or that would make them think any differently about you. Like they're probably already intuitively picking up on what you're going through. So let's say you were dealing with an emotionally dark period and you're like, I don't want to burden my loved ones with that. But then when you finally reveal it to them, they're like, oh, I know, like I've been feeling that there's, that something's been different with your energy. I can feel that you're struggling. Of course, like you're my best friend or you're my sibling, whatever it might be, you're my spouse. I can tell when you're going through something or, and I just wish you would lean on me more. And, that's the Six of Pentacles. It's this beautiful, like reciprocal energy, leaning on each other, helping each other out. Someone is ready to receive whatever it is that you have to reveal, something that you want or need, the way that you are, a feeling that you've been dealing with. You can open up, you can reveal this to them. So I'm kind of seeing this like a progression of events where you go from only showing pieces of yourself to finally revealing your true self and then being fully embraced for it. With the Three of Cups here, For some of you, there could be drinking involved if that's something you do. I'm not encouraging you to do that, obviously. But, you know, that can make us a bit more, what do you call it? Loose tongue? That's not a thing. But, you know, getting the talking going. What's that song? It's like, last night we let the liquor talk. And we said, but we said it all. Yeah. You know what? That song, I think that song is in the key of G flat or F sharp, whatever you want to call it, which is the heart. I've been talking about musical notes and chakras recently. It's the heart and the throat. So that's like a heart to heart. That's speaking from your heart. Everything we said, but we said it all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the key. Anyway, sorry, not to get into music, but if it's not drinking, I do feel like there's something that is facilitating this opening up. And I think you just need to know that you can and will and are, honestly, you are embraced for all facets of you. And the things that you're hiding away in the dark, or the things that you think would be a burden, it's not the case at all. And your good friends love you and they want to help you carry your burdens, because if you each take a piece of it, it becomes lighter and lighter. Okay, let's look at your second tarot deck, the Thoth Tarot, and see why this message is coming right now. Why is this message coming to group number 5 right now? We have abundance. Oh, this is the Three of Cups again. Okay. And the Three of Cups, that is the friendship card. So there's big themes of friendship in this reading. I honestly don't feel like romantic love is the focus for you right now. I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't assume that. Just that friendships are coming through really, really strongly. And I do think that this Lovers card is referring to like a platonic soulmate, a best friend kind of soulmate. We have Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, there's something else coming through. Oh, we have the Two of Swords, but in this deck, it's the keyword peace. Okay, the wording, how this is coming through, is selective shadow work. So it's like we can't do selective shadow work. Like if you're gonna go into the shadows, you're gonna see it all. As an analogy, it's like if someone was like, I really want to lose fat from my calves. It's like, you can't choose. Like it's gonna come off from everywhere. Like you don't get to pick and choose. Like if you want to make your unconscious conscious, you got to be prepared to see some shit, basically, because you're going to see all of it. Or like if you open your emotional dam, you can't be selective about what emotion comes out. It's all gonna come out, kind of thing. So, interesting. You could be like interested in doing shadow work or have the intention of doing shadow work, but there's still a part of you that's in resistance to getting too deep with it. It's like, well, I don't want to address all of that. Like, I just want to it's kind of a shadow work that is shallow. And that's not a judgment. I think it's like we're still afraid of seeing everything, or we're afraid of going really deep. We're afraid of what we might find, but we want to do it. And honestly, this is a good thing, because you're going in the right direction. Like, you're gonna get there. I think you're showing an interest in diving deeper and of going into your shadows. It's like, I want to get in the water, but it still feels kind of shockingly cold. And so I'm just like, okay, I'll just go into my ankles for now. And then I can go a little bit more. Like, I do think you're going in the right direction and you're easing into it, but it's like, we can't be selective. And this is such a gross example. I'm so sorry, but like, in that same kind of analogy, like if someone pees in a pool, you can't be like, oh, I'll just swim where there's no pee. Like, no, it's gonna be everywhere. You can't selectively swim in a certain thing. You're gonna swim in all of it. Yeah, there's something about like a floodgate opening for you, and everything is going to come out. Everything has to come out. Even looking at this shower, it feels like emotions pouring out. You may be processing some things from a long time ago, and the like logical and rational part of you might say, but it's been so many years. It's been 10 years, it's been 15 years, it's been 20 years. Like, there's no way I'm still traumatized by that. No way I'm still upset about that. And if you haven't processed it, then yes, you very much can be. You know, it's I'm thinking of like the digital footprint. You know, things you post 20 years ago are still going to be there, and the feelings you felt 20 years ago are still going to be there. It's, you know, it's in your record, it's in your body. And I'm hearing like, I was just hoping if enough time went by, it would just go away on its own. And it's like, no, you gotta look that shadow in the eyes, man. You gotta do it. And I know you know that. It's just a little scary. It's scary to get into it. And I think this is your confirmation. If you're starting to think about really getting into some serious like shadow work and healing, I think you're on the right path. And I've said this for many groups today. You don't have to do this alone. And do whatever you need to do to, oh my God, I'm so sorry for what I'm about to say. I'm hearing you don't have to raw dog it. I hate that. I'm so sorry. Like, do whatever you need to do in that process for comfort. If you need stuffed animals, if you need to talk to your pet like they can understand you, which they probably can on a soul level. If you need to talk out loud to a loved one who's on the other side, if you need to suspend some kind of disbelief that you might have to make yourself comfortable, maybe you need to talk to yourself in the mirror and that feels silly. Like, do what you need to do to be comfortable. You deserve that. And you should do everything that you can to make the process comfortable. You know, there are things that you can do to ease it, and especially rely on who you need to rely on. Rely on your friends, rely on your family or your chosen family. Rely on your spirit guides. If there may be things that you temporarily do to bring yourself comfort. And while, I'm not going to encourage anything like unhealthy or like that's hurting you, but temporary things to bring you comfort are allowed. You need to know that. Yeah. I'll just leave it there. So I don't even know if I was if that even came from the cards or if I was just freestyling, but okay, let's get into the cards now. So we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Swords. I don't know if this has to do with what we've been talking about until now, or if this is a completely new message, but there's something about if you're struggling with a decision, you won't have to make the decision because life will make it for you. And that is actually going to relieve a lot of stress from you, because it's like you genuinely didn't know what the right thing was. And so if life just kind of makes it go one way or the other, you're like, okay, life, like, thank you for showing me that that's what I was meant to do. And now I can stop thinking about it. So that's interesting. That means it's probably not a situation where deep down there is an outcome that you prefer over the other. It's actually not like that. It's more that I don't know what the right thing to do is. It's not about what do I want. It's about what is the right action for me to take. What is the correct thing for me to do? And so if life just makes it happen, you don't have the pressure of, oh, are you going to do the right thing? Okay, there is a specific example that's coming to me, and I think this has to do with like how you move forward with someone or a decision you make within a relationship. And I'm being shown, like, let's say you had a falling out with someone in your life and things ended on a kind of awkward note where you just don't really know how to act within the connection anymore. And after a long time of not speaking to each other, maybe you hear that that person, let's say it's your, I don't know, a family member, is going through something kind of hard. And you're like, oh, well, I still care about them and I would like to help them get through this, but I genuinely don't know how they would react if I contacted them. Like, I don't know if they would be happy to hear from me and happy to receive my help, or if they would be like, I don't want to talk to you, go away. Like, I really don't know. And I'm okay either way. It's like you don't really have a preference of what happens. You're just concerned with what is the right thing to do in this situation. Do I put our awkward past aside and reach out to help them because that's the right thing to do? Or do I give them their space because that's the right thing to do? It's like, I really don't know how to move forward in this situation. So you're torn like that, but then maybe you hear from another family member that they really miss you and they've been wanting to hear from you. So it's like, oh, great, now I know. Like, I don't have to make that shot in the dark because I've just heard from this other person that they do want me to reach out, so I will. Or maybe they reach out to you first and you're like, okay, well, that removes all of the confusion. So yeah, that may just be a different message entirely for you, but if you feel indecisive about like whether or not you should reach out to someone or how you should proceed with someone, especially if you kind of have a confusing relationship, I don't think that you're the one who has to make that call. I think it's just going to happen to you, or it will reveal itself to you, and then that will be like, oh, thank God, I don't have to take a chance and like roll the dice with this person. Yeah. Okay, so for the last message of your reading, we're gonna get a message from the Moonology Guidebook. I don't have the deck because it's in Canada, and yes, the cover is missing somehow, but we're gonna get a message for you in here. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating Moon on page 34 and 35. The intensity of the full moon has abated, and what are we left with? That's what this card is asking you. It suggests that the situation you're asking about has now peaked, and it's time for you to regroup and learn from your experiences rather than blindly forging ahead. Have faith that what is happening is for the best. Try to accept the way things are now and give yourself and others time out to relax. Breathe. We can't be on all the time. If you feel you've hit an obstacle or even failed in some way, now is the time to reflect on how to do things differently next time. Be honest with yourself if you feel bad about your current situation, and then remind yourself that life goes in cycles. That's very Wheel of Fortune-esque. Like, we can't go up forever and we can't go down forever. Life is just repeating cycles of easy times and hard times, good days and bad days. And if you put this pressure on yourself to always be on or to always be good, you're going to go crazy because it's not possible. Attune to the moon. I am where I am and it's okay. So this is your affirmation. I am where I am and it's okay. Additional meanings for this card. You should know where you stand either now or very soon. You need to take some time out for your own good. It's time for you to share your wisdom and experience with someone else. Avoid falling into a slump. The disseminating moon is the first moon phase after the explosion of energy that comes with the full moon. No matter when you pick this card, it suggests you're at a more tranquil point in the life cycle of whatever situation you're asking about. This is not the ideal time to start something new. The disseminating moon is the time to breathe out. Give yourself some time off and think about what has passed. Yeah, this is very much giving you need time to process things. Something is still fresh. You might be being a bit unrealistic with yourself about how long it would take to process things or to recover from something. You know, like, and I feel like you are being encouraged to talk about what you're going through. We have Mercury, because this is Gemini, Mercury, the Hermit, like, and the throat chakra vibes coming through, the throat chakra and the heart chakra. We also have 2 air signs. These are Libra partnerships. Like, it's all about communicating and sharing what you're going through, because you'll realize that what you're going through is so normal. I think you have this idea that people are gonna feel like shocked or surprised by what you say, but it's like the most normal thing ever. It's as if you broke up with someone 3 months ago, and then you confide in your best friend, like, honestly, I'm still heartbroken over it. And they're like, of course you are. It's only been 3 months. Like, you need to be more kind to yourself and give yourself more time to process things. And yeah, you're safe. Like, oh, I really feel for my group number 5s. Like, I'm hearing clean it up. And that might be something in your inner voice, something that was said to you in the past, maybe in childhood, like, oh shit, I'm still upset, I'm still hurting, I'm still feeling sensitive, I better clean it up. I better stop burdening everyone. Or maybe I'll just sweep that under the rug and hopefully it'll go away and stop bothering us all. And that's just not the vibe anymore. I think you are in, or you're about to be in, a really beautiful support system with best friends, with truly good friends. I'm hearing not just whoever was available, interesting, like truly good friends who care about you and chose you, not just because you happen to be there or you happen to be convenient. You are the priority, and they are ready and willing to receive whatever is in your heart. You are safe to unpack. Yes, you are safe to unpack with them. My beautiful group number 5, I feel for you so much. Oh, okay, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I feel very emotional, and it's okay if you feel emotional when you feel emotional. It's okay. It is so human. The things that you are feeling are so human and so normal and so okay. Like, you have no idea how normal and okay it is. You have no idea. Oh, group number 5. I'm hugging you and I love you. And Yumi loves you too. She's sleeping soundly right now, but she loves you. Okay, so I think those are all the messages for my group number 5s. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick-a-card readings, just like this one. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love and hugs and healing vibes to you, your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self. And I'm sending love to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!